you're in your 30s and you're still broke, this video is for you. It is my personal opinion through observation that in Nigeria, millennials are some of the most brokest and as a result, more depressed generation currently living in 2025. I personally believe that the millennials are some of the most disadvantageous generations currently living in 2025, and I'll explain why. This might not be you, but a lot of millennials right now are currently thinking, what the hell happened to my 20s? What did I do in my 20s? Why is this 23-year-old making millions and I'm struggling to pay rent? Why am I still broke? Why haven't I gotten it right? And then they think back and they're still very confused because all through their 20s, they worked really, really hard. So why isn't their hard work paying off now that they're in their 30s? If this applies to you as a millennial, the simple answer to that is, sadly, you were not built for 2025. For a lot of millennials in Nigeria, this is how our lives went. During our formative years, primary school and secondary school, we knew nothing about the potential of the internet. Yes, we knew that computers were a great deal, and that was why a lot of us went to computer school after GS3 and SS3. And at some point, all of us became experts in Corel Draw. But when it came to the usage of the internet, when it came to its potential, nah, we knew nothing and we didn't do anything about that. In fact, when we saw people being goofy on the internet at the time, we laughed at them because we believed they weren't taking their lives seriously. We were the serious ones. Those of us who focused on getting a good education. After SS3, when we all got JAM forms and that JAM brochure, we all looked to our elder siblings. We all looked to our uncles, our older cousins who were Gen X. We saw that going to school, getting a good result worked for them because they all came out, got good jobs, and they seemed to be balling in our eyes. They had the latest BlackBerry phones. They were driving really good cars. They were balling, real balling. And so we thought that was the way to success. And we did the same thing. We selected the courses that our uncles and aunts selected. We went to the schools that our uncles and our aunts went to. And when we got to school, we jacked like fire. We did CDB. We had night classes. We had tutorials. We did everything we could do with all of our time in order for us to graduate with a 2-1 at the very least. And many of us did. When we came out of school, things had changed drastically. But get this, we didn't know. We were completely oblivious to the change that was before our eyes. So instead, we went to a bunch of interviews. Life was incredibly hard, but as millennials, we were raised to believe nothing good comes easy. So we worked harder. During this time, our younger siblings, the Gen Z, were in their formative years. While we had our heads stuck in books, they had their heads stuck on screens because we were too broke to give a substantial allowance, given that we still had a false perception of the value of our currency, while these kids knew the truth. They knew 10K was nothing, but they dare not say it to us because we were the hard workers. Partly because of that, they explored the internet further than we did. They saw the potential, they explored the potential, and they milked the internet like a fat cow. Still oblivious, millennials worked harder on the small role jobs that we got. Soon enough, they promoted us. We got to important roles in the companies and we started earning the same amount of money that our aunts and our elder cousins were earning many years ago. But here's the twist. Recession hit. We worked harder again. Another recession hit again. We worked harder. We kept working harder and harder and harder. And recession kept hitting. While Gen Zs, on the other hand, were exploring the internet and they kept milking it for everything it was worth. They understood that there was no value in our currency, and they understood that to rise above our currency, they needed to earn in higher value currencies. And that is what they did. Because they saw how broke and tired we were, they learned from our mistakes. When they got into school, they knew that there were no jobs waiting for them on the outside. So they combined their education with the benefits of the internet. These guys were working online from their dorms while we were squabbling over office politics in the offices. When Gen Zs came out of school, they came out ready. They came out with their certificates, they came out with work experience, they came out with their portfolio ready, and most importantly, they came out with the knowledge of internet monetization at their fingertips. We woke up one day in our 30s to see that Gen Zs were better off than millennials. And this is because Gen Zs are better equipped for the world of 2025. Gen Zs are better equipped for the internet revolution of today. Millennials were raised and trained for an outdated system, while Gen Zs literally grew up with this system. Rolling with the change just comes very easy for Gen Z, while millennials struggle with the change. Does this mean there is no hope for the broke millennial? No. What is the solution to the millennial dilemma? Well, the first thing is for millennials to recognize the reality of their situation, for them to recognize that they were not built for the world that we live in today, which means they have to unlearn everything that they know and relearn what a new norm is about. The new norm is centered around utilizing the internet and rising above the value of our currency. You also have to get rid of the whispers that tell you you're too old. You have to assume that your 30s are your new 20s, and you need to figure out how to utilize the internet for your benefits. I personally started my journey with affiliate marketing. I know what you're thinking. She's about to sell you a course. Well, not necessarily. You see, the path I took, which is affiliate marketing, helped me understand the concept of social media algorithm, internet monetization, and personal branding, amongst many others. Putting all of these together, I'm able to create a brand on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and now YouTube. I am able to combine my decade worth of skills and knowledge into one brand and then monetize that brand. That is what is going to help me rise above the current value of our currency and help me become truly financially independent, financially free, and financially flexible. You can do the same as well, but you will never be able to do that if you keep thinking that it's too late for you, or that your 20s are gone, or that it's not possible for you, or that it doesn't come natural for you. It might be harder for you than someone 10 years younger, but it is not impossible for you. Now, if you want to get started on this journey of becoming the new you, and you want to take the path that I have taken, then you can send me a DM or simply comment the word start. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with others, comment the steps that you're taking to becoming the new you, like the video, keep this account growing, turn on your notifications so you can get more updates on new videos that I'll be uploading regarding this subject. Or you simply send me a message on TikTok via Grow with Zilex, and you and I have a conversation. Take care and see you in the next video.